By far, one of the best Israeli films together with Eskimo Lemons, the first one. Wonderful soundtrack, entertaining, hilariously wonderful actors. This movie is the cherry in the whipped cream, an Israeli classic. Alex is Lovesick is a 1986 Israeli cult film directed by Boaz Davidson. It stars Eitan Ansel, Sharon Hakohen, and Yuri Kabiri. The film, set in the 1950s, features a boy as the main protagonist and his life as the son of Polish immigrant. The film is a romantic comedy that takes place in Israel during the austerity period of the 1950s. The main character is Alex, a 12-year-old boy who is about to turn 13 and attend his bar mitzvah. Alex comes from a poor, dysfunctional family of Polish Jewish origin, whose poverty requires them to share their apartment. Their tenant is Farouk, a man whose humorous battle against boldness is a running bit in the film. At first, Alex falls in love with Mimi, the new girl in his class. Everything changes, however, when his Aunt Lola arrives in Israel from Poland to search for a lost love with whom she once lived, but who vanished after the Nazi invasion of Poland. Alex falls for his aunt, and she responds by providing the soon-to-be 13-year-old with more than familiar love. The film authentically recreates the atmosphere of the country in the 1950s, known as the austerity in Israel, including the black market, radio broadcast concentrating on the search for lost relative, music and pastime of the 1950s, and the era's clothing and dress style. Alex is a 13-year-old boy who is about to celebrate his bar mitzvah. Alex has typical Polish parents who work hard to make ends meet. On account of their difficult economic situation, they are compelled to share their apartment with a Persian tenant named Farouk. They try to fight his boldness by means of different cream. But when Alex falls in love with the new girl in his class Mimi, his Aunt Lola arrives in Israel from Poland to search for lost love. Alex falls for his aunt and she not girls. His schoolmaster is a nervous Russian immigrant. The street speech is full of Polish, Russian, and Farsi slang, full of the small talk that had later entered the everyday speech. Grew up to meet the wars of 1967 and 1973 at the age when they become soldiers. Remarkably, there is not a single hint on politics. I like this feature for its mood. In my opinion, It is a must for those studying Israeli cinema and a nice one for a night with the younger kids. This romantic comedy takes place in Israel during the austerity period of the 1950s as 13-year-old Alex is about to attend his bar mitzvah. Alex has a typical Polish mother and father who suffer quietly in their apartment, which, because of the difficult economic situation, they are compelled to share with a Persian tenant named Pau, who try to fight his boldness with different crimes. Alex falls in love with the new girl in his class Mimi. Everything changes when his aunt Lola arrives in Israel from Poland to search for lost love. They were together when she lived in Poland, but he vanished when Nazis conquered the country. Alex falls for his aunt and she gives him more than just maternal love. The film describes exactly the ambience that dominated the country in 1950s. Austerity, Israel, the black market. The radio broadcast concentrating on the search for lost relative. The music of the 1950s, the cloth and dresses and pastime. This movie represents the new era that country went through. Back in the 50s and 60s, everyone in Israel was certain that the future will be great. Not that it isn't, but you can see in Alex is Lovesick that people just care about love and having fun. Alex is an innocent 13-year-old boy that gets very excited when he gets kissed by an older woman. You can also see in that movie the collection of cultures that arrived Israel after the Second World War. Orientals like Farooq and Eastern European like Alex's family. I recommend everyone to see this movie if you have a translated version in your language. This feature is one of the Israeli cinematography milestones. It displays the atmosphere of the late Israeli 50s from the view of young boy Alex, just becoming 13. His mom is the classic Polish mother. His school friends are young hustler dreaming of nude girl. His schoolmaster is a nervous Russian immigrant. The street speech is full of Polish, Russian and Farsi slang, full of the small talk that had later entered the everyday speech. The soundtrack, which is quite remarkable, is built solely on the American music of the period. Everyone in the picture finds one's love and happiness. Boaz Davidson's hit cult film, which marked the end of the Burekas film era, follows the coming of age story of Alex, a pre-bar mitzvah teen in 1950s Tel Aviv. His relationship with his friends, his Polish mother, the lodger Farooq, Mimi, the girl he is in love with, and his aunt Lola, who came to Israel to look for the man she loves, whom she lost all trace of in the Holocaust, and with whom Alex has had his first love experiences. The film spawned some of the most frequently quoted lines in Israeli film history. including naked women's a while, gently, softly, not rough. The lips on you like crocodile. Miss Lola, did you come especially for Alex bar mitzvah? Or did you hear from the neighbors I was single? And Farooq, close the blind, will you? Haven't laughed so hard at a comedy for a long time, and even had moment when sob and tears prevented from seeing the screen. Humor as much as it include gags galore and amazing soundtrack, because it empathetically debut with a wonderful well-known song Magic Moment, written by Hal Davis and Bud Bacharach and performed by Perry Como, and continue in an irresistible way with song that sometimes they come to emphasize the action and other times they are in the worst contradiction with what is happening on the screen. And last but not least, with a palette of actor gifted with a lot of talent, from the young to the mature. In fact, Avi Kushney, born in 1960, became one of the leading actors of the Israeli stage and cinema. The magical moment of children's transition to adolescence in a spatial social universe, that of an Israel in the first years after the War of Independence, of an Israel in which Jews from all over the world found their country, especially from east of Europe. The magical moment of the step toward adolescence, in which natural schoolboy trivia intertwined with the first curiosity and temptation characteristic of the age at 13, such as female nudity, and there are scenes of irresistible humor in this sense. The first lapses of romantic love, normal disillusion, even sacrifice in the name of love. The characters are extraordinarily well characterized, depending on their birth extraction from the schoolteacher of Russian origin to Alex's mother and grandmother, specific Polish, a Yiddish mame, and to the juicy neighbor Farooq, the tenant of Persian origin, obsessed of various elucidating treatment for the growth of hair on the head, or already considerably abandoned by the capillary adornment. The social and economic condition of Israel in those 50s is not avoided either, and there are memorable scenes in the film regarding the black market and the ways of obtaining food and other products necessary for everyday life. Action in which the feisty mother of two Alex. These sequences really reminded me of our long forgotten 80s. Of course, Jews' religious norms have a special place in the film, because Alex is preparing for his bar mitzvah, being on the threshold of 13 years of age. And here again we have tasty scene in which the main element is the old and tired rabbi. The hero moment of anthological humor. Alex's classmate Gadi Fisenzon, played by Yuri Kabiri, The honor, by the way, of an older and well-made sister whom the kid arranged to see naked in the shower, and this in exchange for Gardy's handing over some 100 postage stamp. He is also an anthology character, by the way, actions, and he has a crazy scene somewhere toward the end of the film in which he managed to appear like a marionette pulled by string by the hand of an invisible puppeteer dancing gracefully on the beach at night around the traditional campfire. Recently saw Sharon Cohen the role of Lola, the distant aunt who came from Poland in search of her beloved man, a beautiful young woman who attacked Alex Hormone at the Jewish Film Festival in the movie My Father, My Lord in the role of mother. Screenwriter and director Boaz Davidson, later known for his contribution in films such as The Expandable, Rambo, Drive Angry, Ninja, Leaves of Grass, Solitary Man, Labor Pain, and many other, prove in this romantic comedy a special science and feeling of the adolescent soul and psychology, and above all, he knew how to convey the unforgettable charm of this stage in the life of each of us. Somewhere found a reference to the fact that Alex and his generation represent the soldier of Israel's next war from 1967 and unfortunately the next ones.